Ahoy listeners, welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex Juwan, and our crew, Burke and Brock. Chapter 1039 may be the finale for the biggest of moms, in size and in family. It may very well be the end to her era and mark a new chapter for Law and Kid. Yeah, Momo's pulling the island a bit, and there's a nice cover spread, but my god, Usopp, did you see what Law just did? Holy shit, man! All this and so much more on today's episode of the Yonko Podcast. Let's jump right in. Let's set sail. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chapter 1039.
1039.
The main event. The main attraction. Whatever you call it.
The main attraction. The war that tears down an era. Beautiful color spread this week. No cover story, unfortunately. I was looking forward to getting back to Germa, but hopefully next week, because luckily there is no break.
That monkey on that color spread is pimping.
You know what? You know how people say these predict things, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of talk in the community about if potentially Luffy's Devil Fruit is like more powerful than it's like seems to be. It's the misnamed fruit. It's something special. Right?
Somehow, okay.
Like he has rubber abilities, but he really hasn't really awakened the greater power of the whole thing.
Yeah.
This Monkey King looking dude over here, I don't know. It's sussing me out.
Okay. I'm not reading much into it personally, but that's okay.
Also, those shrooms in the corner look amazing.
The shrooms?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bottom right.
Are you a shroom guy?
Nope. But if those were in my house, I might be. I don't know if I'll keep that in. Also, are those trees made of honey?
I don't know. They do look like they're dripping.
Quite gloppy there. And then Robin's found some ruins over here. It's a pirate skull.
Or just Brooke's ancestor.
All humans have these ancestors because they're dead.
Skull joke. Anyway, okay.
What else is going on here? Chopper's looking cute.
There's plenty going on. I don't really want to focus on it
You don't
myself.
like? You don't want to?
No, it's not that it's not cool. I always
Did
like.
you notice that
threads.
Nami's shirt says Odin on it?
Yes, I did.
And then Sanji says, "I want freedom."
Mm-hmm.
He's looking real American.
He wants the freedom to smash because he's looking at Nami.
You know what's really funny about his pants is they remind me of Law pants.
Yeah, and his boots.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A lot of fun stuff happening in there.
Yeah, it's okay.
And Usopp looks scared as usual. Oh, you know what? Zoro? Come on, guys. What horror movie is Zoro in right now?
What horror movie
Yeah.
is Zoro in?
Is it It?
It is.
I haven't seen either of them. Either version.
Oh, it's the little kid in the raincoat that's like...
Dies at the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, Georgie.
Yeah, it's fucking... It's
We
fucking,
all float down here,
It's
Georgie.
fucking Georgie.
We all float down
Zoro's
here,
like,
Zoro.
Oh, no, I'm looking for my boat.
We all get lost down here, Zoro.
Zoro just turned Scottish. I'm looking for my boat.
I'm looking for my boat. Perhaps I can help you.
Give it back.
I thought Zoro was supposed to be the Japanese one. What
He
the
is.
fuck?
That's the joke.
He's Japanese Scottish. That's where the green comes from.
I mean, yeah, the green has to come from somewhere. That makes sense to me.
Alrighty.
Damn those mushrooms. All right, let's move on. To 1039, the main attraction. The skies above Wano. Keep going back! Back! If I could just get it a little further away. Letting it fall on the capital is unthinkable. Is someone calling for me?
Dome interior live floor.
Ooh, ah!
Big Mom's been blown away. They couldn't have beaten her. Please, we're counting on you to deal with them.
Boss!
Captain!
Blah!
Bet you felt that one, hag.
Hey, Eustacia, that's twice now. You wait for me to use my finisher, then you swoop in with a flashy move to take the credit for yourself.
I just love... Sorry, real quick.
I love this too.
I love how Zoro Sanji this moment is.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so fun.
I'm not your opening act.
Who cares? Let it go!
That's still you guys.
Oh, yeah.
In that case, you go first next time and leave the final blow to me.
Quit giving me orders. There won't be anything left of that old bat once I hit her with my trump card.
Oh, what comes after the bull attack? A hippo? Maybe an elephant?
Shut up! Like I'm gonna tell you what I'm packing.
Look at her bones!
Those shockwaves hit me from the inside out. Even my ribs are broken. Trafalgar's technique is dangerous. I'll have to exchange some life to bring you bones back. Yes, Mama! Yes, Mama! As Big Mom repairs herself by bringing her bones to fucking life.
First off, her arm is just fucked there. That was like Sanji after the goddamn boa attack from Queen earlier. It was Brachio's snake is attack.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
what it was.
That's
And
fucking
Big
wild.
Mom's looking more terrifying than
I
ever.
was gonna say she got all super buff.
Yeah, she really flexing, guys.
She looking like
Flexing.
in every way.
Sorry, I haven't actually seen the movie yet, but she's looking like the big chick from Encanto. Am I right?
Louisa.
Louisa.
Yes. Yeah, I bet she's under a lot of pressure right now.
Oh my god.
I do not get that reference,
That's
so
the
let's
song she
move.
sings.
I know.
Disappointing
Let's
us
move
all.
on. In all seriousness, I need to tell you something.
In all seriousness.
I'll be out of strength after this round. My next attack will be my last. I can't afford to let it miss. You'll have to.
I just told you to quit giving me orders.
Prometheus, Napoleon, Hera, ready? Yes, Mama! Mazer Saber!
Fucking slices the bull in
I
half.
haven't seen a fucking sword like this since Kizaru on Sabari, and I'm all for
I
it.
was gonna say this game gives me like the vibes of like, so you remember back when the first trailer for fucking The Force Awakens comes out, and you see the hilt of Kylo Ren's saber, and then all the parodies of like all the different ways that they could form the
Yes.
laser. That's what.
I actually kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool that it looks like basically like a laser cutlass.
No, absolutely.
Well, if you really focus in here, so you got obviously Napoleon as the base. Then you seem to have Prometheus as this fiery like hilt with the flame blade coming up, and then the lightning is Hera charging it up. This is going to look amazing animated.
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
All right, I think this is me.
Yep.
Nothing but useless scrap.
Mama, it's futile! You brats need to stop dreaming! I've sent hundreds like you to a watery grave! Sorry, I had to have fun with it.
Continue.
Well, you're still continuing to have fun.
We've ruled for decades now, since the time you two were still drinking your mother's milk!
Joke's on you. I don't have a mom. A sign. S. N.
As Big Mom is pulled and attracted to this metal wall. I
As the bull,
Mama dodge! I can't get loose!
as the bull gets pushed towards her.
Ah! And she flips the entire thing around, the bull smashing into the wall.
What? She moved the whole block tower, the whole tower to block?
No way.
You really weighed me down with this mother's homing cannon.
Run!
Misery! And this crazy ass bitch comes out of the sword looking like, I don't know if that's like a really young Carmel or just a manifestation of her younger
Well, it's
self.
Hera, first off.
Yes.
I
is
think
what-
that's just Hera's physical, like
like the
A
Body
manifestation
body.
of her body.
yeah.
Or
It's-
if she had a body.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
What? It's moving! Her attack! It's alive!
Go! Get the misery! Show them their place!
Ducked.
Ah!
And Trafalgar jumps on Mom's chest.
Not again! Trafalgar! Armory basement. What in the world? Onigashima, the skies above Wano, as this insanely large fucking blade of claws just extends all the way into and out of Onigashima and into Wano like it's nobody's fucking business. You've got guts! I'll give you that! Now get off me, Trafalgar! As she just starts pummeling the shit out of this fucking guy.
Captain!
Not yet. It's gotta be deeper.
Did you croak? Listen to me!
What are you doing, Captain? Let go or you'll die!
Puncture.
What? No! Don't!
As a giant crater opens up down below in Wano.
What? How did that big crater get there? What's this massive hole? Burn him to ash and misery! Yes, Mama!
Now, Justicia!
What the hell is that?
How many times do I have to say it, Trafalgar? Don't tell me what to do!
You brats! You think you could just take me down? Give it your best shot! I am Big Mom!
No. Oh, sorry.
No, you're right. You're right.
I am Big Mom!
That's why I'm gonna finish you off! Damned punk!
Your era is over.
Dragging the emperors off their thrones. Chapter 1039.
Did you guys rehearse this? What the fuck?
Nope.
No, it just worked out that way. So,
Lot happening.
wow.
But so first off, let's get the biggest one out of the way. Is this the end of Big Mom for at least the arc?
I have said, and I am 99% sure, if ever there was going to be a final attack, that's it. But I leave the 1% chance that she somehow gets back from that shit too. But 99%, yeah, that's the end of Big Mom.
I feel the exact same way.
I give it a 90%, but like I'm leaning very heavily towards this is it. An emperor just fell, and yeah.
And not to mention, and just for me, all of the hints seem to kind of be in the narration as well. Dragging the emperors off
No,
the
for
thrones,
sure. That is,
climax of the arc. You know, it's a lot of it's kind of just leading up to that. you
yeah,
know?
climax of the arc and Fukuroga still standing.
And fucking Raizo on fire, both of them.
Yeah, I just am doing shorthand for that.
I love a
fight.
good old cookout, don't you all?
Sure.
Wah, 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 wah.
I'm really hopeful that has some sort of actual... Again, we didn't cover it this chapter, so very well, that could end next chapter. But it would be surprising if an emperor fell before Raizo.
You mean Fukuroga?
No, both. I mean, again, literally, that fight seems to be going to like a very like neutral ending. I'm not saying Raizo can win, but or lose. I just. But damn, dude, we have not, and if this really is Big Mom's end, we have not seen an emperor fall since fucking Whitebeard at Marineford, bro.
What I'm really happy about
Jesus.
is that if this is her fall, it's not understated. Because it took what I would probably consider at this point the best attacks of two supernovas to finally finish her off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, Law did his awakening 3 times to her.
Mm-hmm.
The Kid's awakening
Twice.
The Assign.
At least twice.
I'm interested in seeing.
Bull could be a thing. Laser gun could be.
I'm interested in seeing. So, do you think that's just in Kids Can? Do you think that's just like really dense magnetic energy? Do you think that's just a big, really dense magnetical beam?
It looks like a proper constructed weapon. It doesn't look like it's just magnet. Again, it's hard.
It's interesting.
It's black and white. It's hard to know.
Could be a super hated railgun. I don't know. Like
Ooh, that'd be cool.
that's like everybody keeps on talking about it, or at least on the Reddit forums I see is like, give Kid a railgun. Give Kid a railgun. Gives Kid a railgun.
Gives Kid a railgun.
I mean, in a sense, yeah.
Which is what I'm thinking is
It
like
works. It looks like a railgun.
in like the same way that Sanji can like superheat himself by spinning around. Like maybe Law basically just has the magnetism where it's just the friction of it spinning so fast that eventually it comes out as if it were a beam.
Maybe. But either way, a very worthwhile end if that is the end for Big Mom.
That is insane.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean,
like,
me too.
I gave it a 90, but like I'm pretty sure.
It just looks like
90's a lot.
It is crushed my thought that Big Mom could possibly still run away from this.
I never, you know, Yonko. if she is beaten here, but is not like, again, it goes back to the question of how do you actually beat a Yonko? Do you have to kill them, right? She could very well, like, wake up on Hera floating above the water and then go to her boat and be like, I need to fucking rest. That was shitty. And then we see her again.
Yes.
But, like, that would be less of, like, a she's choosing to run away and she knows that she can't go back up there and win, right? Especially if she sees Kaido fall, right? In her state.
Yeah.
Then again, her whole healing factor of just putting, like, I don't know how much of her soul she's used.
Well, the point is
at this
like,
point.
if she gets back up from this and would still be considered a Yonko, she would now be considered, like, the weakest one out of the new rankings after Kaido falls.
Again, is she weaker because she was defeated by 2 rookies, or is Kaido weaker because he was defeated by 1?
Yeah.
Right? And obviously they can't all 3 then be Yonkos, because then you have a 5 Yonko. Like, again, like, how do you beat and become a Yonko? Do you beat them and their crew? Or do you just beat them? Like, I don't know. Because, look, we defeated Whitebeard, but the Whitebeard pirates, I'm sure, were still a Yonko crew. It was then the payback war that they were ultimately crushed and disbanded by Blackbeard, where then he was then named. Like, if she still has a crew to fight for her, I can't imagine her place in, like, the hierarchy goes away that easily. Now, you could say, well, Luffy beat most of them. Like, all of her top officers besides Smoothie are, like, done right now. Be very easy for someone to come in and take all that over. If they wanted to. I don't see Law or Kid going back and doing that. Luffy's definitely going to move on from Wano. He's not going back to Whole Cake for any particular reason.
I think currently my top theory about what'll happen with Big Mom, I don't see her being killed off. I think her crew will. Their original intention was to back her up, and they will arrive. But I think they will see something that was beyond their wildest dreams, and that's their mom beaten. And I think they will then decide to take her and run. And I don't think after this, Law and Kid will have the strength to go after them, because that's a lot after Big Mom.
Oh, yeah. I would be surprised if Kid and Law, if Big Mom is done, didn't pass out next chapter like Zoro and Sanji.
Exactly. So that's what I'm thinking. Because I don't know. I just have a feeling that both Big Mom... Because, like, the thing with Whitebeard's death is you got to remember who he was facing.
Sure.
He was facing...
People who wanted him dead.
First of all, he was facing attacks from 3 admirals and Blackbeard's crew, and God knows who else was in there, not to mention the betrayal.
Well, he wasn't leaving that place. He knew that. He knew that going in. He wasn't leaving Marineford.
But I think there's a difference there, because if this was the 3 admirals attacking Big Mom, she would most certainly be dead after this. They would kill her. But I don't know if she isn't dead, that they will have the strength to lay a finishing blow on her, because this literally took everything they got, I think.
This is what's weird about Wano and Onigashima as a concept, right? We can beat Big Mom up here, but in all other parts of the story, those antagonists were either, like, their dreams were broken and they went on to live normal, like, not so interesting lives away from the rest of the story.
Unless you're Buggy.
But, or they were taken by Marines, right? The warlords and everything else. Mm-hmm. With Big Mom, there's not really a Marine presence to deal with her. She has backup down below somewhere. And if Law and Kid aren't going to finish her, does she just get to escape?
Well, no. My thought is that, because we haven't seen her crew that are currently here in a while.
No. Last time, Marco knocked them down.
My top theory is that they'll finally get here, but while they originally came to back Big Mom up, they'll see that she has actually been defeated. And I think that'll be enough of a reason for them to escape. Because I don't think any of them could have imagined that happening.
No, I don't think so. And, if Smoothie's their best fighter, because Parasparrow's also gone, how are we going to save Parasparrow?
Who fucking knows? Who cares about Parasparrow?
I mean, I know, but, like, right? Is he going to be locked up in Wano?
And here's the thing, too, is we don't know what all's happening at the same time as this stuff.
Sure. Parasparrow's dead on the ground because Inuyarashi... Like, last time we left Parasparrow in his corpse...
he got fucked. Yeah.
No, it was Inuyarashi, Carrot, and Wanda all just chilling out.
Neko.
Or Nekomamushi, not Inuyasha.
Neko fought him. Yeah.
Neko. And he was just laid out, and that's where we left them. But he's not dead, right? But his arm's gone. He's beaten.
He's not getting up for it.
So it's like, does Momo imprison them? Does he like carry them as a dragon and put them in jail? Like, I don't know how you... Because if you let Big Mom heal, fuck.
Well, I think...
I also am curious how much more life force she has left. Could she do her like healing bone shit again, right? Could she make her skin be alive and close up the puncture?
Oh, I imagine that's a stamina game.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking with these attacks and the steadily increasing damage she's been suffering the whole thing, I think we're finally at that point where she won't be able to just because she's been knocked out.
Do you think she falls down that hole? Because the last time we see her kind of pulled out, she's right by the fucking hole. And then Eustace blasts her seemingly into the hole?
I don't know.
So she's coming out like, that hole that was created by law,
yeah.
in my opinion. So she's off of Onigashima at this point.
Yeah.
Now,
in your opinion.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think she just lays there?
Possibly.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Because if she's going to get away in any kind of right, she has to fall off Onigashima. They have to be too tired to chase. Hera might grab her
that
into
also
the water.
that also depends on the powers they have aboard on her kid's ship, though.
Yeah.
Because there'll probably be those who can reach a flying island.
Paraspero went up the waterfall on his, candy bug. And we haven't seen the rest of the ship.
We got the genie dude. Genie dude probably get up there.
Well, we've never seen the genie carry him. We've seen him, stay standing somewhere and the genie goes out.
I'm just throwing ideas out here, but I'm thinking it's possible.
I think the boat has to come back up to get Big Mom.
Well, I think they're going to make it back into Wano.
But it has to be fall down again. Does she hit the boat?
That'd be amazing. I'd be okay with this.
Paraspero is also just, chucked over at one point, just bye.
No, I'd be fine with that. No, I can imagine Paraspero being taken prisoner while the rest escape.
Oh, that'd be sad though. That's her big boy.
He deserves it.
That's the eldest. I wouldn't want him in my country.
Yeah, but I mean,
drown him immediately.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I really hate that fucking game.
That went a different direction I thought it would.
Okay, who's more impressive in this chapter, guys? Law or Kid? And I don't mean to power scale at all. I'm just curious. What were you more impressed by as far as those two in this chapter?
So I think, in my opinion, just from a standard of just, I think it's we've seen Law's Awaken stuff already. This was the most impressive one yet, but it numbs it because he's already done it twice. We've never seen something like this from Kid before.
Numbs it?
To me, it is. No, it's still amazing, but it numbs it more since I've already seen this shit. Up until this point, Kid's been using mainly brute force.
Did you see how far?
No, I saw that. I'm not saying it's not impressive.
Okay, I'm just... Because before it was it's kind of now a longer sword. Now it's...
No, it's going straight down.
Yeah, and then the hole that's left.
Yes.
Holy shit. No pun intended.
I believe you totally intended that pun.
I didn't, actually.
I think you did.
But, fuck.
I think you wholly intended that pun.
Look,
Oh,
Kid is more impressive in this chapter than he was in the previous chapters. I like what he did with the gun at the end there. But Law still, by and far, in my opinion, he's in his own fucking class.
I'm still... for me, this one kind of makes me think that they were as I thought, on the same playing field. Because from what I saw of Kid's attacks here... See, I think... And first, let's talk about the fact, how she talks about Law's attacks. Part of the things about Law's power is that even among Paramecias, it's an extremely different fruit.
Yeah.
You don't have many fruits that have that kind of ability where you can make someone's insides your plaything. And so that's what makes... Shaw, you naughty boy.
I mean, you worded it, man.
Yeah. I'm just trying to be serious here. Jeez. Children, please.
I wasn't laughing, but you did word that poorly.
Anyway, but as he was rearranging her guts.
With this really long sword.
With his really long sword.
Deeper and deeper and
deeper. Okay.
All right.
But anyways,
hard yell for me.
But anyway, Shit, you guys made me lose my train of thought.
Despite how powerful Law is in this chapter, kids.
Here's the thing: is I think Law. To me, this makes you think that Kid has been doing damage the entire time. It's just less apparent because it's outward, while Law strikes from the inside.
I'm honestly surprised that Law had the stamina to take all of those, like, and you can clearly see they're hockeyed fist punches. And you know she got a fucking lot in there, and he still kept extending the blade before he got the fucking penetrate off.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I think he was using the last of his strength to hold that off.
He is tougher than I've given him credit for before. Like those are Yonko empowered Yonko punches there.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
But if I were to give if I going back to your original question, if I were to give my honest assessment, and this will someone everywhere will always say this, like, oh, he's just being a pussy about this. But I'm honestly, and this goes.
You specifically are being a pussy, or
me?
Okay.
And this is also including what I said about being numb to the attack. I would say they're both equally impressive for me. Because I don't know, man. I just. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that that's something we have never seen from Kid before. We finally see something different from him.
I think Law pissed him off that he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do an animal. I'm gonna do a fucking gun now. Fuck you. Don't tell me what to do.
I did love their back and forth too.
Yeah, that was really nice to see.
But no, I mean, I think I was equally, because honestly, the stuff that Law did before, it was awesome, but it didn't necessarily surprise me. Just because
you foresaw the sword going.
No, not this. I'm talking about the ones where it came all around her body. The reason that seemed like something his power could eventually do. It didn't surprise me, and this one still was in that, but it was like, okay, this is really cool. It went all the way down to the bottom of the ocean and left a fucking crater.
Here's my thought on the logistics of the move itself. That aura that is around the sword, I almost think is its own room.
That can make sense.
That's what makes it make sense to me, because obviously when Law creates the room, he kind of becomes the god of it, like his own little universe there.
Yeah.
So what I think is he just took room and he stretched it to its absolute limit to make it so that the sword could stretch to its absolute limit.
Yeah, instead of doing like a bubble, he literally did like a cylinder, kind of like what Bartolomeo does with his shield.
And that might explain too why having the room over his sword means he can manipulate the sword whatever way he pleases.
But that's still insane.
It's awesome. It's impressive.
But it makes sense if that's
how I'm making sense of it right now. Like, I literally just came to that conclusion while thinking about this.
To be fair, it makes me think a little bit back to when he cut that mountain at Punk Hazard.
Just the whole thing.
Like factory. Oh, other factories. Oh, the fucking mountain too. Law, Jesus Christ.
Basically the island has been cut in half.
Whereas now, instead of doing a slice, he's doing like a pierce type deal, and it's just going so fucking far. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
If you care to have my side of that answer.
Yeah, no, please do. Jump in.
I will say Law wins on my list of like who's more impressive, but because I already know your thoughts on this, Alex, I don't think Kid's far behind Law in this. You think there's a huge gap here, and I think Kid at least absolutely pulls his weight here.
I think the anime will cover a lot more of like if Kid's using Conqueror's hockey, because like it's hard to see in all these sorts of things.
Well,
right?
and also here's the thing,
that could make all of this a lot more cool if he's using hockey with these attacks. Because the other assumption I would have with Kid is, he's just hitting her with more metal, and we've seen time and time again that shit doesn't work on Big Mom's skin. Whereas Law is doing real damage because he's going past that.
Well, here's the thing: is I don't know if that's the case.
What do you mean?
That Kid wasn't doing damage.
Well, no, that's the thing though, right? So like, if he is, I'd like to see it in the animation that it's like very clear how he's dealing damage. Because right now it just looks like he's like hitting her with metal, which in my opinion shouldn't do shit to Big Mom if she's not already injured by internal like shit. Right?
So here's my thing about the Conqueror's hockey thing and
the Conqueror's like coding,
stuff like that. I am of the impression that the power being what it is not impossible. Sorry, that's just hard to phrase, but
it's weird.
Or maybe what I'm saying is
take your time.
It's seemingly impossible within human standards to break through it without conquerors. But I don't think it's an impossibility that you can hit someone hard enough to break through it.
I don't know. From how Kaido described it, doesn't seem like that's so, right?
I don't know.
Because Kaido was cut because of Zoro.
No. What I'm saying is, Zoro didn't have the capacity to hit it that hard naturally.
Right, but
Is what I'm saying.
he's got sharp metal swords.
But also,
Zoro can't hit.
I'm talking about force, pure force. That's why I'm thinking maybe a skyscraper worth of metal coming fast enough could do the thing to do some damage, even with Conqueror's coding.
Again, I'm just wanting the anime to show that, but you could be perfectly correct. I just feel like, again, laws, like literally, when he says in the chapter, where is it? It's at the very beginning of the fight. He goes, Law says, in that case, you go first next time and leave the final blow to me, based off of his whole, you wait for me to use my finisher, then you swoop in with a flashy move to take the credit for yourself. Like, again, I don't know how truthful that is to the actual damage that's being accumulated on Big Mom. We don't have a health bar that's showing it being knocked down. But, like, it seems like Law's like, yeah, you're hitting her after I do immense damage and taking credit. Which is kind of what I felt like. Now, that could just be fun banner, but again, I'm a little bit more on Law's side, just because I've always liked Law more. I'm pretty biased. But yeah, no, like,
I just think the Captain Mid memes need to cease after this
chapter.
Personally.
Kid's impressive.
Yeah.
And that he's comparable to Law at all is a big up for him. I just think that sword is insanely impressive.
Like, absolutely.
Well, I think it's the power.
Like, I haven't seen Luffy do something like that stretchy, and he's the stretch guy. Like from the fucking top of a floating island all the way down to another thing, and then the massive. I don't know. It was really cool.
I mean,
now like we haven't seen him try to do something like that. He probably could.
Well, in Luffy's case, you see stuff of much wider magnitude all the time. Like, go back to when he beat Doflamingo, he literally made the entire ruins of the city fly into the air.
The what?
Dressrosa, when he beat Doflamingo, the way that Dressrosa imploded in on itself.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. I rescind my previous statement.
Because Luffy, he
that's basically a similar thing, except Law's is more precise because it's precision.
Luffy's is more the force, like, the length of it is almost like where his punch ends, like his fist no longer meets Dofi, and it goes down.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a...
To be fair, in that case, I always attribute the reason that Dressrosa caves in on itself as because it has that giant underground.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Well, that and
here's
Dofi's been cutting it all with that birdcage.
Well, you guys remember it wasn't just caving in on itself.
Oh, I know.
When he sent it straight down, literally the entire city came flying into the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
But there was also some serious deep cuts all throughout the entirety of
Dressrosa
because of bird.
But I'm saying
I'm not taking away from the impressiveness of that finish. I'm just saying there was a lot of factors that I can take in from a logical
leap. You're shitting on my love right now. Quit shitting on my...
Here's my point. Luffy's done something crazy in Dressrosa. This is Law's awesome Wano craziness. If fucking Kid can do something like this in the next few chapters where he like does something to that magnitude of destructive capabilities,
I have a feeling.
I think he could, But he's been kind of focused on, right?
I have a feeling that canon could have done that, but it was focused on Big Mom, and once again, it wasn't meant to go through her, it was meant to hit her.
If it pushes her through the ground, I'll give it to you. But if it's just sort of like a pew.
Well, not necessarily.
Again.
Because you're talking about like a...
Again, Kid, in my opinion, might have the ability to do that kind of magnitudinal damage.
I'm honestly certain he can.
But I haven't seen it outside of what Law and Luffy have shown. So I'm just going to reserve my opinion. I'm not going to say Kid can't. I'm just going to say I'm waiting for it. Do you think Kid's going to have much more of an arc after Wano?
Yes.
Like him and Luffy and Law antics?
I think he'll be involved a lot. I think he'll be
because we're not going to really follow him after this, do you think?
I don't know.
I'd be very surprised if he's not involved after this.
Well, you know what I mean, though. When they go from another
I'd be very surprised if he's not in the final war. Not maybe necessarily as like an ally, but at least...
They're on the same side of that fight, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think they're all in the final war. Absolutely. Okay. I'm just saying, if we have a couple more arcs before that, Law and Kid might be doing their own things. We won't check in with them for a while.
Mm.
I honestly think Law will tag along. Kid might go do his own thing.
I could see that. I think Law and Nico Robin have a kind of a...
and we've talked about this on the last couple of chapters specifically, just in
Kid's
regard
a little
to
too
Law's
like
future.
Tsundere.
Yeah, Kid's a little too to join up right now.
I also think he's honestly still traumatized by his betrayal. Because that had a huge effect on his crew.
Did either of you guys, obviously we've been talking a lot about Kid and Law, sorry to derail us from that, we can come back to it later if we want. Did anybody notice that I'm pretty sure Momonosuke is getting a telepathic transmission from Zunisha?
I was just about to go back to our boy in pink.
Salmon, come on now.
Pink, salmon, whatever.
He's white in this panel.
He's owning it. That's all I gotta say about that.
The salmon? Yes, he is owning the salmon.
To be fair, he's actually doing some pretty good work here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Onigashima is still definitely above Wano.
It's one of the top...
But it's not over the flower capital anymore.
Sorry, let's actually finish this. I'll go back to my other point later.
And he is pulling that motherfucker. Like, he has figured out this power like Luffy. Like, you know what's also fun? If you zoom in on that very first panel and you focus on the top of the head, you can see all the kerfluffle from Kaido and Luffy.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
It's a lot of fun. But you can see him fucking struggling over here with these giant sweat beads, just pulling this thing. And it is interesting. Is someone calling for me? Now, my immediate thought is Zunisha, right?
Yes.
Oh God, where's your tinfoil hat gonna go?
No. I actually don't know what else I can say about that, other than it's probably Zunisha.
Okay.
Because one of the things we talked about, right, was when Momo stayed on Zou longer before going to Wano, one of the potential ideas was he's like, hey, come to Wano, the Minx and us have this great, connection. It'd be amazing if you brought that fight to help us eventually. And Zunisha was like, okay. Like, really slowly. And now it's finally arriving, right? But the idea that, like, oh, hey, I'm here. Should I beat up these little bitches?
Where do you want me?
I couldn't step on the flower capital.
Looks like you're struggling to...
So
Zunisha's popping up at Momo's head like fucking Clippy.
Yeah.
It looks like you're trying to stop a floating island. Would you like some help?
So what would be interesting to me is if he and Zunisha are having this conversation, most likely we might see a panel where Luffy's also hearing it, right? Now, Luffy can't talk to Zunisha, but he definitely can hear.
He might be able to hear what's going on.
Oh.
And so I think that would confirm for me that it's definitely Zunisha. Now, is someone calling for me? Is that just because they're kind of far away and it's hard to hear? Or is it not someone that he's expecting? That's where we can get into maybe some tinfoil. I don't have anything. I don't know who else would be calling for Zunisha, or for calling to Momo with the voice of all things, besides Zunisha. There's a fucking elephant that he can clearly talk to. Like, that just seems like a one-to-one, right? Kind of like the whole arm thing with Hawkins and Kid, right?
What's up, Burke? You're freaking out.
Sorry, I am just coming up with all sorts of things that can, help solve your problem, because your biggest issue that we've talked about forever has been, how does a Yonko exit?
Yes, it is a big issue of mine.
How does a Yonko exit
With the
series?
precedent of Whitebeard being the only one that's left.
The only one who's left.
Write the story. In
So
such
here's-
a fucking great way.
Here's my biggest tinfoil hat, and it'll make Law the ultimate MVP. Like, obviously, I will love Luffy.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, you like the sound of this.
Tickle those nipples.
Don't you, you
I
dirty
am.
boy?
I
You
am.
love the
Oh,
sound
yeah,
of
put me
Luffy.
in horny jail.
MVP. Here's
I'm
the
leaving.
thing. So obviously, he just made a giant fucking hole through the island.
Big old hole.
Into fucking Wano.
Sure
Big
did.
old crater.
It's-
Hopefully, it's gonna be like a Kiko Ho kind of thing. Cell's way fucking down there. He can't do shit.
Deeper, deeper,
So
deeper.
here's what's gonna happen. Mom is gonna fall through the island into that hole. I'm calling it right now. She's gonna fall all the way into that fucking pit that is down below in Wano.
Very plausible.
And-
Very plausible.
Law just gave Yamato her out. Take all the ammo that she just froze, all the bombs that she just froze to make sure that they don't get blown up. Shove them out the hole. Kazenbo falls down the hole, and when the bombs thaw, Big Mom's under a pile of bombs, she blows up, she dies. And it's just a casualty of, the fact that, there were all these bombs and Orochi was just trying to, blow up. And all of that is because the Law just made a crater all the way down into Wano.
Yeah, it's my finisher, kid. You fucking bitch. Here's my question for you, Burke, because you're a Big Mom fan. You didn't like you don't like Big Mom among the Yonko?
Kaido's my favorite Yonko.
Where's Big Mom rank?
Big Mom would probably rank 4th.
Oh,
I just don't like when she's goofed on.
I thought you did enjoy Big Mom.
Like, I enjoy her as a character, but she's not my favorite Yonko.
Okay,
I just don't care.
erase the favorite part.
I don't care for goofing on someone who's so powerful. And that has been remedied.
So let's see this. Do you feel that is a pretty fucking good follow-up?
That's a fucking amazing way to go out, if you ask me.
Unconscious, down the giant hole, bombs away, Kuzenbo, the revenge of the Kurozomi, explosion, cave in, very much like God, who's that? Naruto, the guy that Shikamaru killed. That was Hidan. Very Hidan-esque ending for Big
I just
Mom.
think also it would just be fun for Orochi, this person who allied himself with Kaido for a very long time, to incidentally lead to the demise of another Kaido ally, which at this point he doesn't give a shit. He wants everybody on this island to die.
Okay. So your headcanon could be that Big Mom dies in Wano in a blaze of horrific glory, all because of a big
And
old
her kids
hole.
never find her because her body's underneath, a giant pile of rubble.
Very fun. Brock, what do you think of that?
I just came up with that just because I already had the thought in my head that Law has given
There's
Yamato
a great exit
her
strategy there.
out for getting rid of the bombs now that she's got
Bombs
this giant
and
hole.
Kuzenbo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because that hole is deep enough. I don't think any subsequent blast will hurt.
Law
the
was
flower
thinking
town.
deeper, deeper, deeper. He must have had a plan.
Maybe.
So I subscribe to the will of M. Will of Mom.
Oh, okay.
I
was like the will of Momo.
So I don't think it's tinfoil hatty. I don't think it's.
Are you talking about my theory
Your
at
theory.
this point? Okay.
I don't think it's impossible enough to be considered tinfoil hat.
I like it. I don't expect it to be fully what happens. I expect now more so that the Yamato thing will happen. The Big Mom thing, I just think would be really cool for that if Alex is correct, and the only way a Yonko can exit this story is either by death or something like that. So anyway, just to clarify my thoughts. Go ahead.
I don't see. I just don't see Big Mom dying on this.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like, I don't know. That seemed like not finding the body type thing is not really an Oda style thing to do.
Oh, for sure.
There's usually always proof that it happened.
When Luffy beats an antagonist.
Yeah.
This is why it could be different, right?
I don't see that though.
Also, I just think maybe it would be kind of almost poetic because she never found the bodies of all the people that she ate because she always thought they abandoned her. Obviously, orphan theory aside for CP0, but you know.
We'll talk about that on the CP0 chapter because I want to cover that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can see that being an out for the explosives, but I don't see Big Mom dying.
Mm-hmm. It's
she has a tendency, even when she's knocked out, of surviving impossible odds.
It was just a fun chain of theories that I thought all kind of worked well to go.
Where do you think Big Mom ends up? If this is her beaten, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where does she end up?
I think she's gonna go. I do think that she will. See, my overarching thought is that both her and Kaido will be around to witness the birth of a new era. I truly do believe this.
They'll both see the dawn in their beaten states?
I do.
Oh.
I think that's what it means when it comes to Luffy.
I mean, that's one of the things
that's for me. That's what it means when Luffy's the one leading the era. Your enemies are going to live to see you win. Even if the people under you aren't quite as merciful, it tends to happen regardless.
I mean, that's what I appreciate so much about all the little like side tracks with Dofi in prison right now. I love every time he shows up and he's just reading a newspaper and he's just laughing maniacally at how interesting the world's getting right now.
I wonder who Dofi's newspaper boy is.
I just like.
Is Magellan like, hey, I finished it.
I like the idea that these pirates are used to a world of kill or be killed. And then you got this fucking kid coming in. And it's like, watch me achieve my dreams. Just watch from the sidelines, motherfuckers. You know? That seems very Oda-esque. That seems very Luffy-esque. It seems very Straw Hat-esque. You know? And like, everything is kind of falling on our side under the Straw Hat umbrella. And to me, it's not so much that Kid and Law are merciful. It's that just when you're under the Straw Hat banner, the enemies tend to live, but they get beaten. Because you don't really like, you've never really seen a fight with people on Luffy's side who've actively like killed the other officers.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if they have a tendency to kill later, like
usually they're arrested by Marines.
Usually they're arrested by Marines, or they're just But
and at
like
this point, with Zunisha on the way, and like I said, my biggest theory with Zunisha is it's going to destroy the Navy fleet that's currently trying to get into Wano. So I don't know what happens to Big Mom and Kaido if
it's hard to see.
Big Mom doesn't get rescued by her children.
That's right now. That's my biggest one, is that I think her children will have a hand in getting her out. Because let's be real, out of all the Yonko crew, her crew is the most resembling of cockroaches because they just don't die. Like they
Big Mom's crew?
Big Mom's crew. Her people, they get put in ridiculous situations that they should be dead. But it's like, nope, I'm back, bitch.
Sparrow should have been dead multiple times over if we're really...
Big Mom, like she fell into the sea and got found by Kaido. Like, you know, like...
Yeah.
Chopper, don't you mean?
Yeah. But there's multiple times where you're like...
Amnesia Mom.
So, I mean,
Don't even get me started.
It's not... So even in this case, it's not such... For me, it's not such a stretch for her to fall into the ocean, but still somehow make it out. There's a lot of shit in the ocean. And also, she's got a ridiculous toughness to her body.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with Whitebeard's death is he was being actively murdered by a future, basically what I consider the main enemy of the series, and all the fucking admirals and the power of the world government. And also, like I said, I think Whitebeard's death, along with Ace's, were very important deaths, and that they signaled the start of...
I mean, the biggest thing about them is they were very important to our protagonists as a whole. I would say.
And among the Yonkos, I think what makes Whitebeard different is that he was kind of the flag bearer
of the
era.
After Roger went.
After Roger was gone, he was the flag bearer.
I mean, that was the whole thing. Is I feel like everybody was saying that the next person to be Pirate King would most likely be Whitebeard if he's just so much in.
Yeah, he was always mentioned as like the man closest to the One Piece.
But I'd like to think. I think it'd be a super cool change of scenery if our protagonist Luffy started turning these major world powers into side characters to witness his leading to a new era.
Well, that's going to be the thing going forward after he beats Kaido. Is we are going to start seeing that. We are going to see the world reacting to that, and it's going to be a good thing. So I was talking with my wife about this when I was talking about Naruto versus One Piece, and just Naruto's dream essentially was realized after he beat Pain. Yeah. He was acknowledged by the entire village. He could have become Hokage he probably could have been like one of the top 3 contenders for Hokage at that moment in time.
Yeah.
So afterward, all the other kind of stuff, like don't get me wrong, still some great story stuff that came after that.
But it wasn't necessarily for his dream.
But it wasn't necessarily for Naruto's dream anymore.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. Whereas Luffy, to this day, everything is still working in that dream of, I'm going to become the Pirate King. Zoro is still working towards, I'm going to become the greatest swordsman. Nami can still be working towards, I want to draw a map of the entire world. Everybody's dreams are still working towards that goal, even though we are still so far into this. But it's compelling, and it's working so well. So at this point, to see Luffy almost starting to dwarf world news at this point would still be just fun.
Yeah.
Because he's not there yet. He's not Pirate King yet until essentially he finds the One Piece and what we assume will be the final war with the government and Blackbeard and whatever the hell that's going to look like.
Exactly.
So I don't know. But it's going to be very interesting going forward, seeing the world have to really fully react to Luffy as a Yonko, as a Whitebeard level pirate.
You know what scene I want to see? I want to see Doflamingo, the bottom of Impel Down, look up one day, and it's just Kaido in the cell right across the way. And he's just laughing, and Kaido's laughing, and then they're following these newspapers of where Luffy's going.
I would actually really like that.
I enjoy that.
So, you know what? For the hope that scene might one day grace our presence, I'm going to say Kaido doesn't die in Wano.
Like, literally, I almost want it to be worded this way. I want Kaido to be like, I was pretty pissed when you lost and I lost my access to, smiles, but it led to the best damn fight of my life.
But I got...
So thanks for getting your ass kicked, you stupid pink fuck.
Feathery bitch.
Let's see what he does next. Turns page. No, that'd be cool for me. I still think there's too much of a focus on suicide in terms of Kaido for that not to still be an option. And I think Oda, I don't know if Oda has chosen, but I think if he ever hadn't figured out what happens to Kaido yet, it would be between those two. Like a reunited with Doflamingo and Impel Down to watch the world burn as he's like completed whatever his obstacle is in all of this, versus like, I was beaten and now my time here is done type deal. Like there's just too many like seppuku suicide chapters that include kind of that not to be something going on. Big Mom, I'm gonna say she's too interconnected to Elbaf and everything there, and if we go to Elbaf, she's got to be some kind of an antagonist.
And that's one of the main reasons I was holding on so hard to the she gets away from this.
So Big Mom is either dead by your theory.
Like
I really love it.
Mine's a crackpot.
I really love it, but she could also totally fall, reunite with her kids, make their way to Elbaf because it's too far back to Totland, and like if there's a fucking elephant in the way. So they have to go to Elbaf instead. So that's what I'm going to say for them. It is hard to know how a Yonko leaves a story.
This will be our first experience as Whitebeard.
Can I ask something that's going to be a little bit more of a far reach?
Yeah, sure.
What chapter do you think we leave Wano?
Oh, fuck.
1039.
1040's the defeat, I'm going to assume, of Big Mom.
Kaido probably is defeated either 5 to 10 chapters later. Honestly, 1050 would be a great final chapter
1050
for
would
Kaido.
be a great final.
Because I think there's still a lot of shit to wrap up with Orochi and CP0 and Izo and the other scabbards and the Zunisha and the fucking world.
So hear me out. If we're still holding to that, maybe Kaido gets a flashback in this.
Oh, that could be 2 or 3
I
chapters.
would say 1055 or 1060 would be a good end of him.
I'm going to say 1050. That's what I'm going to go with.
I think.
But then how many more chapters? So that I specifically said when we
End of Wano. So here's what I think on that. I think.
Seriously? You think after
Fuck
Kaido's
it, yeah.
beaten we'll be
You
there
know what?
for another 50?
We're not even out of
think-
Act 3, and these kind of plays have 4 acts, so epilogue's going to be a while.
I think.
Also, I think the end of Wano might have some ties into Reverie or
there's
where we go
plenty
next.
that they-
Before we actually go there, though. Like, we have to set the scene.
I think.
For what's next.
I would say so. We're at 1039.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think with how things are speeding up, I could see Kaido being beaten in the next 10 chapters at 1050.
Okay.
Because
With or without a flashback, in your opinion?
I think we have room for a flashback.
Only like 2 or 3 chapters, you think?
Big Mom
Yeah.
was 2, wasn't it?
Because here's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing. Is like, I honestly don't think there's going to be much more. I think Raizo's and
Fuck you.
Fukurokuchu. I think they're. I
You
think
almost made him spit take there. That was
Yeah.
good.
I think the end of their fight will be a lot more like logistical. It'll be a lot more lore. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I don't think it'll need as many panels. And then I think a lot of the things, because with that we'll be finishing up all of like the major quote unquote battles besides Orochi, and I think it's all going to come together in a way. And I think that should be easy enough to do within 10 chapters.
I also think there might be some rock stuff in there, which might make his backstory even longer.
We'll see.
We'll see.
For now, I'm saying 1050 to beat Kaido, and then a soft 1070, 1075 for leaving Wano.
Okay, I like that. I just thought of something.
Oh.
So, obviously Kaido, right now, is having the time of his life fighting Luffy.
Seems like it.
What if the whole time, so, obviously we've talked about this whole thing now, he almost seems like he's putting himself as the roadblock to Joy Boy. What if after, this is one just...
I think I know where you're going with this.
What
I
if
don't.
after he's been beaten, he rests up for a little bit, and then he basically just comes to Luffy and he just says, okay, you beat me. You get to know all this shit.
Never mind. That's not where I thought it would go.
Where did you think that was going?
I thought it was something really cool.
You can have your first drink.
Oh, is my idea not cool yet?
No, sorry.
Okay.
What I thought would be really cool and would seem very Kaido-like to me is that after he's beaten, there'd be a rest period because him and Luffy are just inhuman. And I think maybe he takes down the Navy.
Okay.
But Zunisha's not going to?
I don't know what's going on. First of all, we don't know what's going on with Zunisha. What's Zunisha's intentions?
I've got some crazy shit with Zunisha.
We've already talked about that.
I don't think Zunisha has anything to do with any Zunisha shit. It's not Zunisha.
But I thought it'd be super cool if, for giving me the greatest fight of my life, these assholes that are trying to stain it, let's fucking take them down. I can see that. I can see Kaido doing that kind of thing.
I also just think any knowledge he accrued trying to become Joy Boy before he inevitably gave up on that endeavor, I think he might pass on to Luffy at some point.
You're given a Shanks sort of acknowledgement to Luffy where, I'll give you the history. This is what you get for beating me.
Yeah.
You're giving Luffy that as well?
I don't think Kaido's that straightforward.
Okay, he's not going to give you shit about the world, Luffy.
Let's
go beat up the government.
I think he's the type of guy.
Yeah.
He's not going to give you. He's not going to give you. He's going to tell you to find the info yourself.
Yeah.
But
this is where my poneglyph is.
And I'm just throwing crackpot theories out there at this point.
Well, stop doing crack and pot.
This is one of the few times I'm actually enjoying making theories up
fine.
as I go.
I love theorycraft.
It just seems...
And here was the other reason that, going back to Big Mom, the other main reason I am highly convinced that she's down is because obviously the name of this chapter is the main attraction. So I almost feel like this is as if it were somebody introducing it. It's basically saying, and now the main attraction, now that this chapter is over, Luffy and Kaido. We're going to focus solely on that.
Or it could also refer to just the Yonkos as the main attraction.
Do we have a chapter named Luffy versus Kaido?
No.
I'm going to guess that's the next chapter.
Not officially, I don't think.
Luffy versus Kaido part 1 of 6.
Oda's just taking a break from naming the chapters.
I mean, literally, like, the last chapter was Law and Kid versus Big Mom.
Yeah.
Now it's the main
Well, I mean, that's how he's done it with every single one that they've got defeated in.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah.
Zoro versus King, Sanji versus Queen.
Which is weird because this one didn't follow that vibe because it came after Law and Kid versus Big Mom.
Man, he's breaking all of his rules.
Who knows?
He doesn't have rules.
I was going to say he doesn't have that many rules.
He might have rules. I just don't know them.
Okay, so you were saying leave Wano 1075. You were saying leave Wano
1100. I like my... Yeah. You know what? I think the last act of Wano could be 60 chapters long.
Wow, sure. Or 50 chapters if
Because
we're going...
how long is Act 3? How long has Act 3
At this
been?
point, Act 3
Because if
is...
Act 3 is more than 60, yeah, I think 60 is a perfectly fine number for
I can't remember
Act 4.
specifically how many chapters it's been, but I think we're getting really close to, like, 90.
Because look, I don't want to list everything that we could still do, but finishing up all of Zoro's connections, that could take a little bit.
Yeah.
Traveling around the districts, doing all sorts of shit, partying everywhere. I'm not just going to go down to the Fire Capital and party. I feel like it's going to be a whole island thing.
Just to give you perspective,
Yeah.
Wano Act 3 started in 958.
Yeah, I think that the last act can be 60 chapters.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy.
Well, I'm also of the opinion that this might run on to the next arc.
Like what? No.
I think it's totally possible.
No.
This
Wano,
is a game-changing arc.
If Luffy and crew leave Wano for the next island, which in my opinion would probably be Elbaf, if they don't find out some shit about Sabo and go fucking take down Rijwa, which would be pretty fucking cool. Like, what do you mean? Like, Wano extends to...
I'm just saying the stakes are higher than ever.
In just the same way that basically Wano has been technically the narrative threads that have led us to Wano started in Punk Hazard.
Yeah, no, of course. Canadian Wano and all that, yeah.
Like, I understand what he's talking about. This could easily run past Wano into the next arc.
Well,
a lot of stuff that we're still dealing with the fallout from.
Yes, but I think we can draw a line and say this is no longer Wano. This is now.
No,
Elbaf.
for sure.
I'm saying
I
Wano
understand
is-
what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably, we're definitely going to go somewhere else that's not Wano after this.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't think it's the final war.
Well, no.
I think Elbaf or
I still think we got 3 arcs before the final war. Maybe 4.
Dude, Oda doesn't know.
I think Oda knows. I just think he's wrong about the timing of it.
He knows, okay, I only have 3 arcs. Okay, well, each of those will be 100. Oh, well, this one needs to be 200. It could be more than that. Like, and that's okay.
Whatever. I like a guy.
I love him adding more. It's
who
perfectly fine
still
with me.
to this day keeps the story fascinating.
100%. Yeah, no, I think we're leaving the majority of people here. I think Zunisha deals with the military shit. We have a free Wano. Kaido, but then again, I don't know how we take Kaido back to Impel Down. I'm not trying to wrap theories around that, but again, I really want that scene to happen.
I think you are trying to.
It's a nice scene.
I don't say you're not trying to, Alex.
It's a nice scene. It's a nice...
No, it's a cool scene.
You know what'd be funny? If all the Yonko besides Shanks are eventually in Impel Down and Luffy's Pirate King.
Why, because Shanks is dead?
I mean, Blackbeard's gonna kill Shanks.
Probably.
Yeah. I think we all see that coming.
I'm not going to be surprised if it happens.
No one wants to talk about it because no one wants it to happen, because if I don't get an actual fight and that gets off screen...
All I ask is, can Luffy and Shanks have a proper meetup before that happens, please?
No.
I want their crews to
I don't want it to be a fucking Ace situation where Shanks is dying in Luffy's arms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it could be... Again, I don't know if Blackbeard wants to kill Shanks, or if Shanks is like,
We gotta kill
He's
Blackbeard.
gonna kill Shanks when it's revealed that he has the hockey no mi.
Would make sense. I don't know, man. That's too far ahead of things. We're just trying to figure out how we get rid of these Yonko. But yeah, unless there's anything else on this chapter, we can jump into predictions.
I just think we're probably going to be focusing on Kaido and Luffy next chapter. Maybe the end of Fukuro, fuck you, and Rise, holy shit.
How will you feel if they're still fighting and Kaido's going down?
If they are still fighting and Kaido's going down, I'm sorry. I think Oda has to drop from God tier just...
Oda himself!
I think Oda becomes mortal if Kurokuju...
Oda, you are now Gold Roger tier.
No longer got Usopp.
Well, Wano's got to be dropped down from...
You're still fucking great, but you are...
Why?
Even gods can bleed, I suppose.
It's like Oda's like, no, but Raizo was my favorite character.
Would you like it if that was revealed?
That becomes the new cover story, and the next island is just, they're still like...
We can throw them into the pit, and they can just, have each other in a shadow possession for the rest of time.
We see some very specific holes in the island where that is appearing with Law, okay?
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's like, we clearly see Yamato, right? We see
Momo.
Kuzenbo.
Mm-hmm.
Momo sees that shit. He's like, the fuck? And then we see this big old hole in Wano, which is right near that fucking gate, which is that the Laughing Town?
Oh, hey, maybe.
Because that looks like the gate
No. That's the Flower Capital. I see what you're talking about.
Because it looks like
there's
music.
There's that stairway that you see in the very opening shot.
Yeah.
That leads up to. It's kind of like how Alubarna was set up.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wouldn't it suck if that crater was where that Laughing Town used to be?
I mean, it burned down, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the people were still there, right?
I mean, potentially they're potentially dead.
Well, definitely no. Like that.
I do hope Kinemon's wife survived.
I hope, since Kinemon's still alive, if he had actually died, I would have wanted them to be together in death. Personally.
Yeah. Okay, predictions for 1040. You're saying...
I'm saying we're going to Luffy. Hopefully in the next 2 chapters we'll fucking finish.
Fuku's done.
Fuku,
fuck you. Rise of holy shit.
I think...
Rocky boy.
That it's going to follow the format, and I think it's going to end with showing Big Mom's defeat.
I forgot to mention that, yes.
Yes, announcer. The defeat of an emperor.
I think there might be some tired back and forth between the two.
I didn't need you to tell me what to do. I did all the damage!
The two, there'll be some back and forth between the two, or maybe some she's talking about Luffy, who knows. And then I think they're going to conk out, and their crew's going to take care of them.
Medics.
Mm-hmm. And I think that news is going to spread like a fucking wildfire. I think it's going to be
like a Mary's watching.
Maybe, yeah. I think it's like, Big Mom's been defeated. What the fuck?
Yeah. Kaido's like, huh? Boo! Just gets punched.
It would be cool if somehow Kaido could hear that.
Nani?
But no, I think her defeat announced. I think it's going to be spread. The back and forth. I think we'll probably get some quick takes of a lot of the involved parties that are left, mainly our side, because we're kind of getting to that point where everything's wrapping up. And then I think it's kind of going to be a more transitionary chapter, where by the end of it, it'll go to Luffy v. Kaido.
We checking it on Zoro yet?
We'll see.
No, like...
What do you mean?
Do you want to predict that?
You want to check in on Zoro or not next chapter?
I think it's definitely possible.
Oda's like, fuck you, no.
I think it's very possible. Now that we've reached a stage of, oh shit, a Yonko just got beat. I think it's perfectly natural to check in on every point of interest and then end it with a standoff between Luffy and Kaido. I don't think it's going to go straight into a fight between them. No. But I can see it being like going back up on the rooftop, both bleeding, some kind of...
Can I just say, thank God we don't have a break.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, 4 chapters, no break. This was number 2. I need one more, and then one more after that.
So 2 more.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Well, we no. We know.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
No. We know next chapter isn't going to be a break, so that'll be 3.
Yeah.
So I'm saying we need one more after that. That's what I'm saying. 4.
I know.
Yeah.
That's 2 more, though, to make 4.
No, but we know one is for sure happening.
I know. You said 1 more and 1 more after that.
Well, I meant one more after the one we know is happening.
Okay. Anyway, predictions from you.
Yes. I think we announce Big Mom's defeat. Holy shit. Kaido hears the news through whatever means, and I honestly am fearful of how he reacts to that shit. Because, like, if you think about it, they don't hate each other that much. Like, and he did try to protect her up on the rooftop a while ago. So, like, I don't know how that changes his battle with Luffy. If it makes him more erratic, if it makes him more solemn, if he's like, hold on, I gotta pray for her real quick. I don't know. Like, it's Wano. But it's like...
Hold on, I gotta pour one out for Big Mom.
He's just like, all right, Luffy, I was gonna offer this sake to you, but this one's for the homie. And all the homies
to your
that she
straw
lost.
hat.
No, but I think we get Kaido's reaction to the defeat of Big Mom. And then
Defeated the Big
And then...
Now pour us some milk.
I think we get, like, a reignite of, like, Kaido's ambition to beat Luffy here. And maybe Momo starts having problems with the clouds again and everything. Like, again, we need to get the situation back to scary. And if Kaido's aware of the stakes, he's like, all right, I'm really going to go all out on you. You piece of living shit. And then everything starts fucking moving. Everything's freaky. We cut to Izo and CP0. Get a good fight there. And I think that's where we leave it. No Zoro, no Zunisha, no Marisha. As much as I want all of those next chapter, I'm not going to say we're going to
Can I just get everything? Can you just, like, make the next chapter, like...
Did you like last chapter?
Remind me what happened last chapter.
Last chapter was, like, all the check-ins, right? With Zoro and
I
Izo.
like last chapter.
So you like transition where we just... It's not a lot of
It's
anything.
not my favorite, but I liked it.
But
They're necessary, though.
You'll take it if there's conclusions. But if it's just like, this is happening...
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, I want a transitionary chapter where we're getting a couple conclusions. Like, the 2 old men are now skeletons, so we don't have to focus on them anymore. Raizo and Fukuroka.
I figured that's what you meant by old man.
Izo is probably defeated by CP0, and they're trying to leave again, and Marco's like, not so fast! And he appears. Like, shit, cool.
I was almost like, oh, you want Izo to die? And then I realized it was
want
a
him to.
Trojan horse to get Marco into the chapter.
You think Marco's not going to protect Izo? Come on. He's got observation. He knows what's going on. But yeah. Again, there's so much to do. If I have to pick between Zunisha and Zoro, I honestly want to go back to Zoro first.
I mean, that's just because you're definitely worried that it's not Brook.
I am.
No, you are.
Huh?
You're worried that it's not Brooke. He thinks it's Brooke.
I think it's Brooke. I want to know that it's Brooke. You think it's something bigger, which would be cool too.
I'm not really worried about it, though.
But he thinks it's Brooke.
Okay.
If it's actual death incarnate, I'd be worried for fucking Zoro.
Yeah, but Oda's not going to kill Zoro.
I know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if death's actually there, like, I'm gonna fucking chop you up, bitch. And he's like, something happened. Something about to happen.
Frankie radical beam.
Shoots
Just
Death.
shoots Death, and Death's like, I'm deaf.
You son of a bitch!
Death's over here like, you're very impressive, you pervert. Here, have your old mentor back. Gives him fucking Tom on the spot.
Brings Tom back to life.
It's like Frankie's like, I thought this was a joke. What
This
the
reminds me of freaking Castlevania where Trevor punches Dracula. Oh, you must be the bell.
That's fun. But no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Kaido hears the news of Big Mom's defeat. We do a CP0 fight. Leave it there.
Yeah, okay.
Conclusion of CP0 fight with Izo. Now, do I think Izo can win? Probably not. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the power.
I don't know. I'm so confused about their level.
How about
When we remember that Izo was technically the 16th Division Commander, that's when I'm like, oh,
Survive Marineford and Payback War.
sure.
Like, he is here with Marco, like, yeah, I'm ready to fight another war.
he's
Like,
strong, no doubt.
he's a scabbard and a whitebeard pirate.
No.
There's a duality there. That guy's not a fucking piece of, he's not weak.
Also,
He's not poo-poo.
real quick, how about
Poo-poo?
no.
Please stop.
For me, I wanted to kind of notate the two, for me, least likely to happen,
Oh, sure, yeah.
but would be unexpected and would surprise me if it did happen. I'd
Blackbeard.
be like, oh, I forgot about you. until I just remember now. Not Blackbeard. He's not even a
Blackbeard
member
and
right
Kizaru show up.
Stop,
Those are my least
stop.
two.
My two are, we see what the hell's going on with Apu. Because where the hell
Oh, yeah.
where the
What is that?
where the fuck's that guy going?
He pieced off with one of the numbers. He's like, fuck this shit.
No,
I'm
but
out.
like, you know,
We have had a really weird relationship with Apu
And
for
then-
all of Wano.
and then Kiyoshiro.
Yeah, but Kiroshiro, I'm pretty
We
sure.
all have a pretty good headcanon.
Pretty sure he's going for Orochi with...
That's probably, no, I'm saying, but those would be the ones I least expect to, like, appear in the next chapter.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Kizaru shows up and Blackbeard shows up. Those are my two.
Shut up.
Do you expect those to happen?
No.
My point. What are your least expectations?
Sabo shows up.
Pig dash.
Followed by Cobra.
Shanks. Shanks shows up.
You know, he did say we should meet soon, Luffy. Kind of like throws a bottle of sake. It does hit the ground. He goes, huh? Shanks is like, oh, I'm just here for you, Luffy. Continue.
No. The Black Cat Pirates show up.
Kuro's like,
Kuro's Don Krieg!
I made
no!
it. He's like lost an arm and like half of his face. He's like, I made it through. So much shit Straw had to get here.
Damn.
Okay, cool. Solid. So yeah, chapter 1039, folks.
First he finds Usopp and throws Kaya's disembodied.
He just gives her fingers.
Okay, wow. We need
Sorry,
to stop.
Kuro should be darker.
We need to stop before we get any more off topic.
That is 1039, folks. No break. We will see you very soon for 1040 and hopefully some more magnificent Oda. Rock!
Foxy for the win!
No! No!
Foxy.
Can you fucking press stop? Alright, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. Like, Law just busted a hole through all of Onigashima and struck mainland Wano was like, nope, I gotta go deeper, deeper, deeper still. Like, bro, you overly penetrating Big Mom, dear God, Usopp, man. And who gave that kid a gun? He's literally blasting Mom in the face. Oh, the humanity, bro. With that, see you all next time on the Yonko Podcast, chapter review 1040. No break, good shit. Alright, boys, we're off.